Today we would like to discuss about the chapter 7, which is management of work alienation. Hegel, 1957, the history man was the same time the history of the man's alienation, which is Entfremdung. Okay, Hegel used the two distinct words for alienation, which is Entfremdung, a state of separation, and Enthouserung, which is surrender and Divechte. Okay, so let's go to the introduction. Karl Marx, the analysis of capitalist society, in his view, the essence of human existence is found in people capacity as for the labor and transform the material world. Thus, the dehumanizing potential, people can achieve self-fulfillment and self-actualization in their work and the careers, which is opposite of work alienation. Okay, as for the definition, the concept of alienation is separation. Okay, separation has various forms within human experience under capitalism. The fragmenting of experience, which is the result of the capitalist organization of a work society. Okay, the state of existence is which human beings are not fulfilling their humanness. They are living a lower level life that they are potentially might as a result of their circumstance. Okay. A general cognitive state of psychological disconnection from work. Alienation always points to a relationship between a subject or some real imaginary, concrete or abstract aspect of the environment. Okay, alienation always refers to a subjective state of an individual, or rather a momentary snapshot with what is usually viewed both in psychoanalytic or a Marxist theory, a self-reinforcing inner process. Okay, so subjectively, undesirable separation from something outside of oneself. Example like the means of production, money, status, power, the majority group which one does not belong, and or even the inside oneself. As an example, one's real inner feelings, drives, or desire, as the concept of self-alienation.
For the example of alienation in work, firstly, social isolation. Social isolation at work can also be a symptom of workplace alienation, especially in environments where employees contact with co-workers and managers occasionally. Experiencing social isolation and alienation from the workplace community might be a result of this lack of companionship and social connection. Secondly, lack of meaningful connection. Because their involvement in the manufacturing process tends to be limited to a single repetitive task, employees may feel alienated from the end result product or service that they are contributing to. Feelings of emptiness or disappointment may result from the lack of connection to the larger goal or success of their employment. And lastly, loss of control and autonomy. Workers frequently have little influence over the type or pace of their job in assembly line environment. They are forced to follow strict timetables and perform duties that are set by machinery or managers, which make them feel helpless and unfree. This loss of control may make one feel powerless and frustrated. Thank you, that's all from me.
There are four alienation from Marx's view of workers under capitalism. The first one is alienated from other people. The second one is alienated from the product. Third, alienated from one's own labor. And the last one is alienated from oneself. The phrase alienated from other people refers to a sense of detachment or isolation from others. When someone becomes alienated or estranged from other people, it means they feel disconnected or separated from them emotionally, socially, or psychologically. This can happen for various reasons, but in this context, it occurs as relationships become more transactional, self-centered, and lacking in trust. In this context also, when relationships become merely calculative, it means that interactions with others are based solely on what one can gain from them or what benefit they provide. There is a sense of cold calculation rather than genuine connection or concern for the other person's well-being. Similarly, when relationships become self-interested, it implies that individuals are primarily focused on their own needs, desires, and interests, often at the expense of others. There is little consideration for the feelings or needs of the people around them. Finally, when relationships become untrusting, it suggests that there is a lack of trust between individuals. This could be due to past betrayals, dishonesty, or simply a general skepticism towards others' intentions. Okay, next, alienation from the product in the context of labor and production. Okay, It describes a situation where workers feel disconnected from the products they create because they don't have ownership or control over them, and because those products may not even be aligned with their own needs or desires. This alienation can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction, disengagement, and lack of fulfillment in their work. The third point delves into the concept of alienation from one's own labor, which occurs when individuals feel disconnected or estranged from the work they do. Okay, let me explain one by one. Okay. Not deriving satisfaction or delight from labor. Okay, this suggests that individuals do not find joy or fulfillment in the work they perform. Instead of experiencing a sense of satisfaction or enjoyment from their labor, they view it as a mere means of meeting other needs, such as earning income to survive. In essence, work becomes a chore rather than a source of personal fulfillment or creativity. Putting themselves under the control of others. Okay, in the work situation described, individuals surrender control over their labor to other people, typically employers or supervisors. They become subordinate to those in positions of authority, following instruction and adhering to workplace norms and expectations. This dynamic of control further exacerbates the feeling of alienation because individuals may feel disempowered and marginalized in their own work environment. Okay, lastly, being alienated from oneself. Okay. Work as an alien thing that oppresses. This suggests that the work individuals engage in becomes something foreign or disconnected from their own sense of self. Instead of feeling a personal connection or fulfillment from their work, it becomes a burdensome or oppressive force in their lives. This could be due to various factors such as monotony, lack of autonomy, or feeling undervalued in the workplace. Potential for human fulfillment. Despite the current state of alienation, it's also acknowledged the potential for work to be a source of human fulfillment. This implies that work has the capacity to provide individuals with a sense of purpose, satisfaction, and personal growth. When work aligns with one's interests, values, and abilities, it can contribute positively to their overall well-being and fulfillment as a human being.
Next, I will be explaining the dimensions of alienation. There are 4 dimensions of alienation, which is powerlessness, meaninglessness, isolation, and self-estrangement. So, what is powerlessness? According to Shepard, powerlessness is a perceived lack of freedom and control on the job. For example, workers feel themselves to be a thing or an object, controlled and manipulated by others or an impersonal system. Move on to the next point, which is meaninglessness. According to Seaman, meaninglessness refers to the individual's sense of understanding of the events in which he or she is engaged. It may occur when workers are not able to understand the complex system of goals in the organization and its relationship to their own work. The next dimension of alienation that will be discussed is isolation. Isolation is when an individual is unable to relate closely to others at work. It is also when they feel disconnected and a feeling of separation from the group. This might lead to an absence of integration in the work society. Lastly, self-estrangement. It is related to a lack of opportunity to achieve self-involvement or personal fulfillment at work. Lawrence states that a job that does not provide opportunities for expressing unique abilities, potentialities, or personality of the workers encourages self-estrangement. He also states that a worker is self-estranged from his or her inner self at work if the worker is unable to express himself through it and views work only instrumental, which is rewarding.
Work alienation refers to a feeling of disconnection, detachment, or dissatisfaction that individuals experience in their work environment. Management of work alienation involves several key findings and effects. Firstly, causes of work alienation. Understanding the root causes of work alienation is crucial for effective management. Factors such as lack of autonomy, poor communication, low job satisfaction, and unclear expectations can contribute to alienation. Secondly, impact on productivity. Alienated workers are less engaged and motivated, leading to decreased productivity and efficiency. This can result in missed deadlines, poor quality of work, and ultimately reduce organizational performance.